Now, how do you think the person who classifies him or herself as white, who doesn't want black people to understand racism, white supremacy, but the black person responds in that way, and then, walks away from the situation, is not offended at all. Why? Because they know that they are in a system of racism, white supremacy. They know what it is, and they know how it works. And so they do not, get hysterical as though this is not supposed to be happening. What do black people just overall said? We do not call ourselves niggers. We do not call one another niggers. But in the system of racism, white supremacy, if a person who classifies him or herself as white calls a black person a nigger, we just say, you're just giving proof that the system of racism, white supremacy does in fact exist. Thank you very much. And then the black person just goes forward and does what their codification calls that they do in the system of racism, white supremacy, with their determination to replace it with a system of justice so there can be peace. The black person is reflecting that they know who they are as a black person. They respect themselves as a black person. Nigger is terminology that gives proof to the system of racism, white supremacy. They don't have an undue response to that any more than if they saw a rattlesnake at the zoo or in the wild, and the rattlesnake was shaking its rattle. You don't jump up and say, well, why did they rattle their tail? It's a rattlesnake. See, so the black person is indicating at all times, I am in a system of racism, white supremacy. I am not in denial about the system of racism, white supremacy. There are certain things that I anticipate and expect to occur in the system of racism, white supremacy. I never engage in the denial that I am in a system of racism, white supremacy. I study racism, white supremacy. I study the works of Neely Fuller, Jr., who wrote the textbook for victims of racism, white supremacy. I study that. I really make that a form of a Bible that I use. Now then, black people will begin to see a change in the system of racism, white supremacy, when no black person is engaging in the denial about a system of racism, white supremacy. No black person can even be caught off guard. If a reporter comes up to a black person getting off of a bus, and the white reporter holds up a microphone and says, Miss, I see you're just getting off of a bus. Can you answer a question for me? Do you believe that there is a local, national, global system of racism, white supremacy? And the person immediately answers without hesitation, yes, there is a system of racism, white supremacy that is local, national, and global. And so, excuse me, sir, I have to catch my next bus.